Good morning. Last year I had this idea about using these gutter de-icing kits as heaters for my garden boxes. And so I wanted to show you how I tried them out last year and they worked pretty good. They had different lengths, and the one that I purchased was 80 feet long. It was around $60 at the time. I didn't know how much heat this would produce in these boxes, so I laid it out back and forth 4 times, and I think I could have got away with 3 times. It produced a lot of heat. The temperature outside is about 10 degrees at night, and the highs are 30 degrees. So I'm hoping that this heater will keep the soil warm and my plants from freezing. Every night I come out, I turn on the heat, and I cover the box with plastic. And that keeps the temperature around 40 to 44 degrees, and it worked out really well. I have a habit of pulling things out of a box, and I looked at this and I was going to plug it right in, but it said to make sure it's completely uncoiled before you plug in the heat. I planted some radishes, and the first time I used this, I used it on all my cool weather plants. I just wanted the evenings to stay around 40 degrees. I have no control over the amount of heat that it produces, but it worked out just fine with the temperature that I wanted. My vegetables did really well. An update on my gutter heaters. These are the radishes I had planted. The wires are still down here. I try to avoid having them touch the plants, but it only hurts a leaf here and there, so it's not a big deal. The weather outside still gets about 22 degrees, and the tunnels are staying at around 45 degrees. So it worked out pretty well. In the evenings, my greenhouse gets down to about 27 degrees inside. And so this just helps the plants not to be so cold in the evening and so hot during the day, because during the days I have to open all the windows. My greenhouse will heat up till about 80 to 100 degrees. I have to be really careful to make sure I have all the windows open and the doors open. Also, with these cold weather plants, I use a lot of shade during the day because it gets extremely hot in here for them. After the weather gets warm enough, I take the heaters out of this box and I put them into my next box. They're just laying on the surface, so they're really easy to move. I just wanted to take a moment to update the gutter heaters. I decided to purchase a couple more so I would have one for each box because they worked out so well for me. This one right here is keeping my tomatoes and my cucumbers warm overnight so they can survive the cold temperatures. Over here are the plants that I haven't planted. They're the ones that are going to be going outside this year, and I'm keeping them warm with coil. Now, these are the de-icing kits, and they worked out really well for me. Just something you might want to try to extend your season. That's my goal, is to be able to get as much use out of this greenhouse possible. Also, this gives me a little bit of a security when I start wanting to plant so early. I'm unsure that I'm overdoing it and going a bit too early. My plants have gotten quite large in this box, and so I have removed the heating coils from them, and they seem to be doing fine, even though the temperature this year is still stayed pretty low. It's around 22 to 27 degrees outside. I just cover it with plastic. If I have extreme cold, I might take some blankets and place them on top of the plastic covers. So this is the box where they come in. And they come with all these clips. So this is what you get. You got to make sure you unwind these completely before you plug it in. This one's 80 feet. And this is how they look when you buy them. I bought mine at Home Depot, and later I bought the other ones online. It's worked for me, so I hope this can be of help if this is something you might like.